Hello and welcome back. This is Nom Nom and we are once again in Oxygen Not Included. This is the galactic pigpen map on the Aridio asteroid with oppressive heat. It's quite hot. So I've learned a lot. Honestly, this is turn 243, about 100 turns past the last recording that I did. This basically devolved into an experiment, and the experiment sort of took over the base to the point that I stopped paying attention to the rest of the base, and we started to have some real issues. We had some bathroom backup, plumbing issues, we had oxygen issues, we had heat issues in our farm. I basically stopped paying attention to the functional part of the base and just started working on this experiment. On the upside, I learned a lot about this system, and I would like to try and rebuild it. I started to design it down here. Then I actually went into a sandbox game and worked on it for a little while, and I think I've come up with a better design, something that I like more and that I'm going to work with. That being said, gas management was a real miss on this base. I just let it go for way too long. We have so many mixed up gases right now with the natural gas, the chlorine, the carbon dioxide, not enough oxygen. This base is just a hot mess. Ended up building this natural gas solution up here where I found this natural gas geyser. Still don't have it up and running yet. If it were up and running, it could start providing power for the base, which would be very helpful. And finally found a useful geyser. Over here, found a cool slush geyser. 4 kilograms, almost 5 kilograms at minus 10 degrees of polluted water. Now, over here, found another one. Cool slush geyser, if you can believe it. 3.8 kilograms at minus 10. Crushed ice. I honestly don't know if this is going to put out polluted water or water. So let's just uncover it and find out real quick. Not sure what it puts out. Anyways, all of this to say, I also built down a plastics system down here just because I was working on trying to solve some problems and I needed steel. And since I had this down here, I built the polymer press. I was trying to rebuild some of these components out of steel just because I was having a lot of overheat issues and I wasn't able to do my heat management the way I wanted to. The biggest problem I think with this setup is that I split my carbon skimmers and I'm pumping CO2 to my carbon skimmers. I also have 2 water sieves and I'm pumping out my oxygen. So in my opinion, I have 1, 2, 3 pieces of equipment that I don't need. These 2 pieces of equipment should be in the same area. And I don't think pumping around my carbon dioxide as a coolant is ultimately worth the cost of the power to run it. So I have some ideas I would like to try out, and I think I'm going to try them out on a new map. So that is sort of the 244, 250 turn cycle wrap up on this Aridio asteroid. I just screwed enough things up that I could try and recover it, I guess. But this is indeed polluted water. That's what I thought it was going to be. We'll just wall that off. I've just screwed it up so badly. I just recovering from it's not going to be fun. I learned a lot about planting the arbor trees, managing the pips, ranching. Honestly, I think this base is better served with ranches, not farms. And I think I'm going to start over on a new Aridio asteroid, manage my gases better, work on this ethanol system that works in a smaller footprint with less power consumption, and try and do it without farming, just ranching. I guess we'll see. And hopefully I'll find some better vents. Like, it took forever for us to find a useful vent. This was the most useful vent we found, second only to these cool slush geysers, which are pinned up along the extreme left and extreme right of the base. It's just the geyser placement was not great, and honestly, I didn't explore or get to them fast enough. Yeah, I started setting up a ranch down here also for the slicksters, but somehow he got out. I don't know how I mean, the door was open, but he shouldn't have been able to get down there. So anyways, that's the summary. That's the wrap up. That's the lessons learned. I did a lot of things wrong and spent way too much time on this system over here. It's just not self-sufficient. It is cooling this area over here, which is spitting out cool oxygen, but the system just can't sustain itself without input from dupes on wheels and being down and not running for a significant amount of time. Too much equipment. So I'm going to try again on a different map. So anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. If you've been following this series, look out for Aridio Mk III, my new series that I'll be doing. Basically, big old Aridio ranch. All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this video, my channel in general, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing with your friends. This is Nom Nom, and Oxygen Not Included, signing out.